ankle. Kinlaw out knee. Trent Williams out elbow. Jordan Willis out ankle. Debo out hamstring. Sherman out calf. K1 out shin. Givens tending to a family matter. Um, Limited today. Deion Jordan knee. Tarvarius Moore ankle. Manuel Mosley hamstring. And School knee. Go ahead.
Hey, Kyle, so we see that you re-signed or reworked Robbie's deal, and then we also see that he's now on the COVID list. So what's your alternative plan for Sunday in terms of a kicker, and just how important was it to lock up somebody of Robbie's experience?
Yeah, it was great to lock up Robbie. I didn't feel like we were going to lose him, but so I'm glad we were able to work out something that helped both sides, helps the organization, and it's good for Robbie too. So I think we all felt real good about that. Um, Randomly him getting COVID today, it's just a coincidence. Wouldn't have done it if we knew that, but I'm just joking. No, I'm just glad we're able to get someone in. We got a guy named Tristan who came off the Vikings practice squad. So we're able to get him in faster through the COVID stuff. So he's here. We just got to wait till the day. Do you know what day it is?
I think Friday.
I think Friday we'll have him out there, but it gives us an option for kicker for the game.
Kyle, how much cap space were you guys able to create with the new deal for Robbie? And just how important in the overall scheme of things was it to get this deal done, to create some space and help you do other things this offseason?
Yeah, everything helps. I don't have my calculator on me right now, so I don't know exact space it created, but I know it created more space for us this year, which is more of an issue with not everyone knowing the salary cap this year with the COVID stuff going down, and we know we all expect to go up the next year, so I think that's the stuff that helps us less in this year, more in the next. What was the other question? Is that it?
No, he got
You got muted.
Yeah, no, just
They got him.
in the overall scheme of things, just how does this fit together with being able to do some of the things that you guys need to do in the off season?
Well, you need a kicker, and you want a good one, and we have a kicker and we have a good one. So yes, you have to make all those decisions financially that affect every other one. But if you decide to move on from a good kicker like Robbie, you got to be willing to get worse or spend close to the same money to try to stay the same. So that's, to me, a pretty easy decision. We want to make it's important to us to have a good kicker. We have one of the best, to me, that's played the game, and Robbie, and we'll continue to have him, which helps us not have to fill that hole, and we can focus on the others. Everything ties together, so it's not just one after another. You got to think of all this stuff big picture. But I do know at least now we're not going and spending money to get a new kicker or spending a draft pick on a kicker.
Hey, Kyle, regarding Kinlaw, when you say he's out, do you mean just for practice today?
Yeah, just for today. Yeah, just for today. Well, we'll see as it goes. I'm not sure of the week, but I know for sure today.
Okay, and also he had dealt with knee tendonitis and whatnot in college. Is his current issue tied to that, or is this a separate injury?
I think it's a separate injury. I mean, they didn't tell me that specifically. So you can ask me that again tomorrow. Let's see if I get a better answer. I'm not sure if it's tied to college. I just know his knee's been bothering him here.
Hey Kyle, in light of tomorrow being New Year's Eve, I think everyone's looking forward to 2020 being over. So what are you most looking forward to about the new year? That can be from a football perspective or a personal perspective. And do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I didn't even realize tomorrow was New Year's, so that is exciting. I do want this year to end for everything, not just football, but for 2020 for the world. But no, I'm just excited for a new start. I mean, it's been a grind this year, as everyone knows. I don't look at it as a negative. I think there's stuff that obviously we were disappointed and wish went differently. But I think this year has made us harder. It's going to make us stronger, and therefore it's going to make us better. I don't feel football. When you've been in this business long enough, you realize football never ends, ever. It just stops just a little bit and enough for you to reset, to come back. And I'm ready to reset. I want our team to reset. I want us to get healthy. I want to figure out some tough decisions, and I want to get the Niners back on the field in front of our fans, what we're used to playing in our home, and get back to life the way we're used to, and get back to playing football the way I know we're capable of.
As far as Trent Williams, I think just the way he played this year was easy for observers to forget that he missed all of last season, with cancer for a lot of the year. Was that all a concern for you when you guys were trading for him? What kind of shape he might be in? Would he be ready for the start of the 2020 season?
Yeah, anytime someone misses, no matter what your age is, when you take a year, more than a year off football, you're always concerned about that. But I mean, at least knowing the person helped me. That's for sure. Being able to talk to him helped. Hearing what he had to say, hearing how hungry he was helped. I mean, knowing how talented he was and everything. When you hear the hunger, you hear his passion about getting back and getting in a different situation. And then it was cool for me to talk to guys like Jet and Debo, guys who were working out with him down in Houston, who were calling me, telling me about this guy they're working out with and how talented he is and how ready to go he is. And I told them I already knew who he was, but that definitely helped because I hadn't seen him in a while. So when you hear all those things and you know the guy and you talk to him, wasn't worried at all about it because of the information we got. Was a little worried not having much of the time to get him back into football shape, just with the OTA, not having OTAs and the training camp and stuff. But that's why I was glad he was able to stay healthy in training camp because that got him some of the reps he needed and stuff. And I think that's what got him ready for the year.
Fred was named NFC Defensive Player. What have you seen most from him this year, just in his progress from when he was a rookie?
Just that he keeps finding ways to get better. It's I think Fred played at a Pro Bowl and All-Pro level last year. I think and he got rewarded for that this year, but his game still even took a step forward. It's cool to watch a guy who we talk about being deliberate in everything you do, not just going to the meeting but like really getting stuff out of it. And Fred is so deliberate in everything he does. So the way he eats, the way he sleeps, the way he listens, the way he takes a rep. Everything is so focused and locked in to try to get better. And when you're like that, I don't care who it is or what sport it is or what job whatever it is, when you are locked in and kind of in the moment and present and stuff that you're working at so hard and you have ability, then you got a chance to get better every single day. And Fred just stacks days up. That's how he lives his life. And when you're able to do that every day and not have any bad luck with injuries too, it's just you only get better. And that's why Fred is a very he's had people have helped him, but that guy's self-made, and it's with his mindset and work ethic and how he lives his life every day, and that's why he continues to get better.
Hi, Kyle. I know it's a small sample, but how has Justin School adapted at guard? And do you see a potential opportunity at guard now in the future? And related to that, do you see Daniel Brunskill being a guard for you, or do you see him continue to work at center moving forward into this offseason and next year?
I thought, School was thrown into a very challenging deal versus Dallas, so that I was just proud of him for being able to function. And then what was really cool about him a week later, watching him get a few more days of practice and how he played last week versus Arizona, you could tell how much better he got at guard. And that's kind of how School's been at everything. You give him some time to practice, you give him some time to figure it out, and he can help you win a game. I definitely think he's more at a tackle spot. I think that's what's more natural to him. But the fact that he got better in his 2 weeks playing guard gives him a chance to help anywhere. And that's almost the same story with Brunskill. I mean, Brunskill, I think, started his career out maybe as a tight end, was on other practice squads. We got him from the AAF. Slowly earned his way up to be a swing tackle for us, winning games and played well. Then got moved to guard, played well. And he had to go to center this year by default just because how many guys we lost. And each week he figures it out and gets better. So to have guys that can move around and give you options, that really helps you as a coach when you look into free agency, when you look into the draft and stuff. It's not, hey, we got this guy here, we got to go pay whatever it is to get this guy. It's no, what are the best options for the team? And when you have guys who can help you win at different spots, it allows you to make better decisions for the overall roster.
Hey Kyle, you said that this year's been a grind, and looking at last week and then going into Sunday, how do you lead this team to not really approach these games as meaningless games and encouraging guys to put forth their best effort despite, you know, the number of injuries you guys are dealing with and guys that could be out this week?
To me, it's no different than last week, and honestly, it's no different than last year when you're playing for home field advantage and playing for the West. I know it is mentally to some people, and if you let the mental part of that change how you go about yourself, it'll be a joke in what you put on tape and what you put on the field. It's kind of, I said at the beginning of this, like, I don't see it as, hey, football's over after this week. Our season is, but it allows us to stop and reset and to start it back up again. And if you stop a week before that ends, when you stop playing football, whether it's a week before the season ends, when you stop coaching, when you stop going through the process that you go through every week to prepare for a game, when you stop that a week before the year ends, when you stop that a week after it ends, when you think that something can end and you can just sit and not think about it and not start to prepare, that's usually when you're on your way out in this league. And that's what I try to stress to people. It's you play a certain way, and if you pick and choose, then the sport's not going to be for you in the long run. And we got a lot of guys out. They're playing for everything. People don't think that we're playing for that much, but I always think you're playing for everything. You can say a lot, but one thing that's cool about football is you are what you put on tape. And I think our guys got a lot of pride, and I think it's very important than what they put on tape. And I would love to have the best record in the division at least. I know we're disappointed with our record, but I think we have a chance here to be the only team in the West with a winning record if we can win this weekend, and I think that's a lot to play for. I think it means a lot to our guys, and I think that has everything to do with not just this year, but also showing who you are heading into next year.
Hey, Kyle, you talked a little bit about Tarvarius Moore the other day. I want to follow up. How does his speed maybe translate to that position that he's playing now compared to where he's playing free? And does it give you a little bit more flexibility in terms of ways you can mix and match with those two guys when it's him and Ward out there?
Yeah, I mean, speed, anybody who runs and hits, they cover a lot of ground and they shrink the field for an offense. I mean, from a receiver standpoint, from a quarterback standpoint, I mean, Tarvarius has the 40 and he has the mindset to run through people, and that really is a key asset that can shrink the field. I think Jimmy Ward is similar. I think Marcel has that too. He might not have the exact same 40, but there's zero hesitation, so you don't see that much of a different speed on the field. And that's also why they've all been really good special teams players too. I think they've gone through a lot of experience this year, stuff that you never want. You always hope when your backup doesn't get thrown into that, just like our quarterback situations. But these guys in games have shown that they can play at a starter level. And when you see that, it's from them running and hitting. The more they can get better at being consistent and the full aspect of coverages and everything like that, then you got some special guys. And those guys got some of the stuff you can't coach. Now hopefully they detail it up. They learn from their experiences, and how do they take this into the offseason? When they come back to OTAs and everything, do they know, were there good and bad plays? Were they all positives for them? Does that make them better in OTAs, a little bit more used to going through it, understanding where to put your eyes and how fast things can get on you? And if it does, and they get better from it, then you got two players.
You gotta unmute his mic.
I think they're all.
You had to in a game. Who's your?
We start over. I didn't hear that.
Sorry. I had two questions. The first is about. I know you've got a couple.
Is that us?
I don't know. Can we go to the next question, please?
You're breaking up,
We'll
Matt.
come back to you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Unfortunately, well.
Did you hear Barrow's question?
I did, but I don't want to repeat it.
All right.
I want him to take that bullet. But I do have a kicker question for you. You mentioned a guy named Tristan, but the Tristan Vizcaino was released from the Vikings practice squad a couple of weeks ago. Are you referring to him
Yes.
or Taylor Bertolet, who was on the Vikings practice squad at last glance?
Referring to Tristan. I didn't try the last name because I don't want to sound like you saying it. But that's who I meant. Yes, from the Vikings. He's off of it now, but that's Friday while we get him, not earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is Tristan.
He came in the other day.
Yes. No, my mistake with off of it now.
All right, can we try Barrows again?
Am I coming in now?
Right
We
now,
got
you better get out fast because you go in and out.
Yeah. Well, who would be your emergency kicker if you weren't able to sign somebody like Tristan?
Lots of guys say they would. I wish it could be Wes Welker because I know he did it back in New England a couple times. I'm not sure exactly who it would be. I think we'd go with Mitch, most likely, since he can kick. There's about 6 guys who tell us, and we all entertain them just so they're excited about it. And I don't want to have to officially pick because I'll have 5 guys mad at me. Hopefully they're not watching this. I mean, I would probably lean towards Mitch since he does kick for a living. He just punts more often.
Do a
You
couple
guys-
more?
I'm kind of looking forward to the day that happens so you guys don't get mad at me if I go for it every time.
Hey, regarding Mike McGlinchey, can you confirm that you'll be picking up his 5th-year option? And then just a second one on him. I assume, this is the most scrutiny or criticism he's probably received in his athletic career this season. From your view, how has he handled that?
I mean, I think he's I see him every day. I think he's handling it all right. I think that's something everyone needs to go through, and then you see how it affects you the next year. I mean, I've had those moments in my life, and there's stuff you don't enjoy, but after you get through them, I say this a lot, but now I look back at them as positives. Even though at the time in my life, I couldn't think of anything worse. You don't like people questioning you. You don't like people that care about you a lot. You want to ignore it, and you can, but people who care about you a lot, family members and stuff, they read it, and it works them up, and then that ends up getting back to you. I remember when I was little, I used to want to fight every single person who I heard on the radio and everything because they would talk about my dad. And then when it's about you, it's a little bit different, and you get a little bit hardened to it, but you have to go through it for that to happen. And any coach, or any coordinator, any play caller, any player who's in the limelight, like, it's going to happen. I don't care how good you are, and it's how you react to that. And that's why I think it's a good thing for Mike to go through that stuff, because I think it can make him stronger. He's made of the right stuff. He's a good football player. He's going to have a great career, and I plan on it being here. And I hope he takes it the right way and makes him a better player next year for it.
Kyle, Chris's hand is gone. He wants to know if you talked to the doctors about Jimmy and if the plan has changed at all. And then my question is, Tom Compton, you opened the window for him. Is there a chance he plays on Sunday?
Yes, there is a chance Tom plays because he's been let out of the protocol. So hopefully that'll work out, especially being low on O-linemen too. I would love to get Tom back. And I haven't talked to doctors about Jimmy, but that means it hasn't changed. So, I mean, I'll rule him out. I'll tell you guys if something changes. Please allow me to change my mind, but don't plan on Jimmy playing this week.
All right, last one to Matt.
I deferred. You know what? Eric Branch asked that question that kind of led off his more rambling question about McGlinchey. He asked if you guys have decided whether to pick up the 5th-year option on McGlinchey.
So you're okay with asking that one, but not the who's our emergency kicker?
Yeah.
All right. We haven't talked about it, which is probably a big tweet thing you guys want, but McGlinchey's going to be here. So without me ever thinking of that, no, we haven't talked about it, but don't worry, Mike, you'll be all right, man. So obviously I got to talk to John, talk to Jed, but it's first I didn't even realize I was up next year, which means I feel pretty good about McGlinchey.
All right. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Hey everyone, we got Fred here for you.
Hey Fred, it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, so I'm wondering what you are most looking forward to in 2021, and that can be either personally or from a football perspective. And then, are you a New Year's resolutions guy? And if so, what are you resolving to do?
Wow, big question. Most looking forward to in 2021. I don't know. I guess there's a lot. New Year's resolutions. I do believe in those. I will say I do want to read more books. I started reading a little more as I got into the league. You know, I've kind of just been kind of wishy-washy with it. I want to be more strict with it going into 2021. Looking forward to have Nick Bosa back in 2021. That'll be fun. Yeah, I'll give Nick a shout out.
Hey Fred, what keeps you motivated this time of year? You know, you guys have been out of it for a while, but what is it about you that you know you that enables you to play the kind of game you had last week that won the NFC Defensive Player of the Week honors?
Honestly, just like I mean, it sounds cliche, but like the true love of the game. You know, I love what I do, truly. You ask anybody in this building how I come to work every day, it's going to be the exact same just because I love what I do, and I love who I do it with. This is such an amazing group of men. You know, my teammates, my brothers. You know, I put it on the line for them every single week, and you know, there's always something to prove, regardless of the situation. Every time you step in between the white, you know that you're trying to gain respect from your peers, and so that's my thing. Is every time I go out there, you know, it might sound a little aggressive, but I'm trying to embarrass somebody. That's my mindset, and you know, I just love football.
Fred, I don't know if you've thought about this yet, but having gone through this year with kind of trying to adjust your training and your off season with COVID and all that kind of stuff, and I know we don't know what it's going to look like as you get into this off season. Have you thought about maybe the way you'll adjust things or change things, and would it make it any easier to have to kind of go through that off season like that again after doing it?
Haven't really gotten to like the nitty gritty of it. I was still able to keep it pretty similar this past off season compared to what a usual off season would look like. I guess. I mean, last year was only my second time doing so, but you know, kind of have a routine, a system that I go through, and of like you know hitting certain time periods throughout the off season and what I'm trying to do to rev up going into the season, hitting a peak. And so, I mean, it's a year-round deal though. It's not just about the off season. It has a lot to do with what you do in season as well. But you know, I'm looking forward to having my best off season yet going into 2021.
Brad, Kyle was just in there talking about how very regimented you are in how you spend your day, how you work out, how you approach everything. Can you share with us just a little bit about how you, let's say, lay out your day, how you plan and lay out, you know, how you approach your day?
I mean, I am very much about a routine. I'm a very routine person. I like structure. I like schedule. That's what's great about football and what gives guys, you know, just structure to their for their day-to-day lives. You're supposed to meet at this time. You have to lift at this time. Um, During last season, I started getting more into a like stricter morning routine. Just little things that kind of like completing little tasks in the morning to then you know keep you motivated to go and have a productive rest of your day. That's big for me, and just trying to maximize what I get out of every single lift, meeting, practice, rep, everything. Just trying to make it as hard as possible throughout the week. So when it comes time for Sunday, it's just doing exactly what I did all week long. It's a breeze. So.
Hey, Fred, I asked this because I'm sure he'll be mentioned as a candidate if Robert Saleh is to leave. But as far as D'Amico Ryans, you know, he's been in his role, you know, as long as you have been with the team. what are his best qualities you would say as a coach, and how has he maybe evolved or improved since his kind of his first year as a position coach?
Well, yeah, me and him. I mean, he started as an LB coach the same year that I came in as a rookie, and the progress you've seen me make is a direct reflection of the type of coach and person that he is. He's so passionate about what he does. It's not a mystery why he was so successful in the NFL. He's such a smart mind, and I mean, him and Saul are very similar in that way, where they're both really smart and know exactly what they want. The fact that D'Amico did play linebacker, that's exactly how he's going to coach. He's going to coach you hard and aggressive and expect a lot out of you because he was able to do that when he played. And from what I've heard, and what different people say around the league is that, when you play in the league, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a good coach. You got to be able to be a teacher more than anything if you want to be a great coach. And he's an amazing teacher. I've learned so much from him and continue to learn so much, and I think that's the key to being a great coach is the teaching part of it. And so I know with whatever happens, with his coaching career, he'll be amazing at whatever he does.
All right, thank you, Fred.
All
We
right.
got CJ up for you
Thanks,
guys
guys.
next. All right, guys, we got CJ here for you.
CJ, how you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Good. What's the process like for you, for the first time since the middle of 2018, starting a game, seeing a full game of yourself on film? How do you start to kind of dissect what you saw and work on ways to improve on maybe things that you could have done better?
I mean, it's just like really any other week. I mean, you go about the weeks the same, whether you're a backup or a starter, other than the fact that you're getting the practice reps during the week. There's obviously stuff you watch on tape from the game that, I mean, there's always plays that you wish you had back or you wish you would have done something different. And that's, a lot of that is just repetition type stuff, not a lot of mechanical stuff. All the mechanic stuff is that's once the season starts, you kind of are what you are mechanic wise. A lot of it is mental at that point once the season starts and going through progressions and reads and stuff like that.
Hey, CJ, I know this is probably something you'll think about more when the season's officially over, but heading to free agency for the first time, whether it's there or elsewhere, what are some of the things that you'll be looking for in your next opportunity?
Shoot, man, that's so far ahead. I haven't even started thinking about that. I'm really just focused on this game, and I got one more this season with these guys, with these teammates, and I'm excited to get to practice today, and then play the game on Sunday.
Hey CJ, since it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, I'm wondering what you are most looking forward to in the coming new year. I think everyone's ready for this year to be over. And then also, are you a New Year's resolutions guy? And if so, what resolutions do you have for this year?
Yeah, no, I've never been a real New Year's resolution guy. I mean, obviously there's stuff that you always. I feel like I'm always trying to make a commitment to certain things throughout the year. But I think I'm most looking forward to just getting back home and being with family more than anything. So I've never been. Honestly, it's funny. You said tomorrow's New Year's. I didn't even know tomorrow's New Year's. Once you're in the groove of things, you kind of forget the days. You just know today's a Wednesday practice, the next day's a Tuesday or a Thursday, and whatnot. But I'm looking forward to getting back with my family and hanging out with them for sure.
CJ, before the game, you spoke about wanting to play more free, letting it rip out there. Do you feel that that's how it went for you, and how do you feel about going into this second game?
Yeah, I mean, I really feel that the way the game played out, the run game was working so well, the defense was playing so well. I mean, I feel like I didn't have to do much, which was nice. We didn't throw it, a bunch of times. That's just the way the game played out, and I just know how to take care of the ball, and the way the guys were playing, just be smart with the ball, take care of the ball, and we'll put ourselves in a good position to win the game once the games come down to the end.
Hey, CJ, your hometown was in the news last week with the bombing.
Mm-hmm.
Any impact? How did that affect you or your family?
Um,
Along those lines?
yeah, I mean, it didn't affect my family so much in the fact, like I live like 30 minutes south of Nashville, but obviously that's your hometown, home area. It affects the community in ways that, in big ways. I mean, I know that was a big news for the Nashville area. I mean, it would be for anywhere in the world, and it was something, a horrendous act that God forbid it happens again anywhere in the world, but it was something, tough, especially when it's, close to home like that. It's just crazy to think that, you think of Nashville as this, an awesome city, friendly area, safe and all that kind of stuff. And just you always got to be on guard, and, anything can happen at any second.
Last one for CJ.
Hi, CJ. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. You're saying you're not a resolutions guy. I wonder if you're a projections guy. And if so, how do you project yourself for 2021? What would be your ideal scenario for the next year?
I mean, I think once this off season starts, I wouldn't mind getting away. Going on vacation somewhere. Maybe a beach or something like that, just to get my mind off stuff for a little while, and then spend a lot of family time. I'm a big family person. I like being back home, back in Tennessee, being with family, just doing all that kind of stuff. We have some acres back there. Me and my brother, we go fishing a lot. We do a lot of like woodsy stuff, country stuff, and just kind of looking forward to getting to that, and just kind of doing the simple stuff, and getting into the Word more with my family, and getting to back with my church. I haven't been going to church. Usually once the season starts, you kind of do the online type stuff. I'm excited to get back to church once the off season starts.
Thank you, CJ.
Thanks.